We weren't cancelled! Yay! Welcome to the actual first episode of Two Guys Talking. People seem to like the pilot last week.
Yeah, we got a fair number of views. I think most of them are ourselves watching it back.
Yeah, but I don't know, I enjoyed it. I thought we had something good. Big pieces of feedback, right? People liked the intro music and they liked the sound of beer being open. Now, I've got to admit, I've got a can of Brewdog Hazy Jane here. Love a Hazy Jane, right?
Okay.
I did drop it I dropped it 30 seconds ago. So let me just, oh God, I'm quite worried actually. Hang on, this could go everywhere, but, oh, absolutely fine. So, Kris, how's your week been? I heard you had a rough night last night.
Yeah, I'm doing some Jackbox games last night.
Yeah.
I bought some cider just for like a nice chill evening. Few easy drinks. And I checked back on my last bottle to find that it was 8.2% cider. And I got absolutely floored from it.
How many bottles did it take you to realise the volume of what you were drinking?
I was drinking my fourth and final bottle of cider.
And
I
then
was like, I'm getting a bit drunk here.
It's like, yeah, mate, you fucked up there.
Yeah, I've been hungover all day today. I even put off starting the podcast just so I could have some time to kind of recover.
Oh man, you love to see it. Well, funnily enough, this weekend I've had a few drinks. I tried to not drink yesterday because I didn't want to, end up in your state. But Friday was fun, right?
Yeah.
I see you've got another Budweiser.
Budweiser again. I hate to do it, but it's the point of the podcast, isn't it?
Yeah. It is literally piss water that you're drinking right there.
Oh God, don't remind me.
Actually, before I get into my story, so what happened with the Superbowl? What was the result?
I was rooting for Kansas City, and they got slapped by Tom Brady. Just 3 field goals for the whole game.
You know what's funny? I like how in America, right, they say, oh, Tom Brady is the best athlete in the world, right? But then they see the whole world as being just just the US.
He is the greatest of all time, or GOAT, in American football history. But if you look at it on a worldwide perspective, I doubt he's going to do much if you put him in front of the Liverpool fans. Yeah,
no, he's gonna get absolutely rinsed, and I would love to see it. I'm not really a sporty guy, but I mean, I don't even like. I don't know what is it about American football that you like.
I don't know. You
said it last week. You're a rare Brit.
Rare Brit who likes American football. It's more, you got to think more strategically than normal football. It's normal football. They just kick a ball back and forth for a bit. And after watching 90 minutes of the same two guys kicking a ball between each other. Yeah,
but you can say that about any sport, right? You could say American football, all you do is just charge into each other like a bull run, right? All you do in tennis is just whack a ball about. Like you could say that about anything.
Yeah, but American football, it's like they've got the line, and one guy's got the defense plan, one guy's got the assault plan, and they try and outmaneuver and outplay the other team in a very strategic way that you have to think about before the game. And you can be sitting there as a audience shouting, run it, just run the ball, instead of just going, hey.
Yeah, but I don't know, it's just easier. You don't have to you don't have to watch anything. You just go with the crowd.
True. I will say probably the one bad thing about American football is how long it takes to watch a game.
How long does it take?
They put an hour on the clock, but it's more 3 hours of actually sitting and watching.
You know what annoys me, actually? They've got, the halftime show. Just for the Super Bowl, right? They've got that. We don't have anything like that over here.
No, we don't.
Nothing to compare to it. I mean, whether the show's good or not, it's you can agree it's a good production. Whether you like The Weeknd or whatever, right? It doesn't matter. Yeah. It's a good... In spite of how many memes have come out about, what is it?
He's inside the tunnel. And
he's inside the tunnel. Everything's blurry. And then the caption just reads, still looking for people holding GameStop stock.
Oh, dear.
So...
But yeah, we have nothing like that over here. We don't...
It's a shame. I want to, make it a production, man. Make it some...
Premier League final... The brass band comes out, everyone comes running onto the pitch.
Because they're patriotic over there. Because they dress it up and they make it like an event.
It's the Stars and Stripes, man.
Yeah, man.
In saying that as well, they do some great shows for the halftime show. Like, they had Katy Perry a few years ago, and she brought out a giant lion mechanical thing.
Okay.
And it is a show.
Look, it's production. It's good production, right? Even if you don't give a fuck about Katy Perry or any of that shit, but it genuinely, like, you can respect, like, planning's gone into that, right? Yeah. Okay, which brings me on to my story that I was trying to say earlier, right? No planning went into this, right? So, I'm going to touch on cryptocurrency just a little bit, right? Because when you start to see advertisements, right, and it's the same with the stock market, right? When you start to see adverts on Snapchat or Instagram or even the side of buses, you know that it's a bit like, it's a bit overinflated, probably overvalued. It's like it's too late, right? And it's funny enough because Dogecoin was always a joke coin. Yeah. The guy who founded it never, he left the development team. It was never meant to be anything. But with Dogecoin, because they keep making them, people keep buying them, and the value is going to go up. That's the crazy thing, right? But no, what I wanted to talk about is a lesson that I learned recently, and a lesson in greed and probably selfishness, to be honest, and kind of realizing the error of your ways and just being happy with what you've got, right? So,
okay.
I live in the Western world, can't complain. I have a decent flat. It has underfloor heating. Isn't working currently because the pipes are frozen, but at least I've got a bed with, TOG 15 or whatever it is. So I'm warm. I'm okay, right?
You got a good
I can't complain. But 3 years ago, okay, there was a massive hype around cryptocurrency. Okay, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, all that. Bitcoin's the one that most people know of, but there are actually a lot of other coins too, okay? Bitcoin's just, the biggest one that people know about.
You know what? I saw something recently about Bitcoin taking up something like 30 or 40% of the world's energy just to get them mined.
100%. But here's the thing that I might need to look into that, because apparently all the coins have been mined. Because of the way that Bitcoin's built, there's a limited number of how many there can actually be. So I wouldn't have thought there'd be an issue with mining unless, I don't know. Okay, clearly I don't understand it, right? And if you don't understand something, you shouldn't invest in it. You really shouldn't, and that's what I've learned over the last 3 years. So, like I say, 3 years ago, there was a massive hype around it. Everyone in my workplace was buying cryptocurrency, and I was young, naive, I had a little bit of savings, and I lost a lot of money in cryptocurrency. I bought right at the peak. Googling the price of Bitcoin over the last 5 years won't really explain. If you Google the price of, Ethereum, okay, ETH to GBP. Google that, okay, and you'll see around 2018 there was a massive spike. I bought at the tip of the spike, and then it crashed right down, right? Now, normally you'd think that would be a buying opportunity, but this was a new thing for me. I'd put a lot of my savings into it. I'd been a bit naive, a bit stupid, and I'd lost it, right? But I hadn't, because I had these crypto coins, these virtual currency coins, and I just kept them. Because I thought maybe one day in the future it'll come back. Who knows, right? And I always said to myself, if it comes back, and if I, God willing, I break even, okay, I'll just sell, put it back in my bank account, pounds, sorted. I'm happy. I'm not here to make money. I'm just here to get my money back, right? So a few weeks ago, the price of one of my coins increased, right?
Hey.
And I was like, oh great! At one point I'd lost 95% of my money. But at the moment, and here's the thing, right? The stock market is similar to the crypto market, but it's just too volatile. Cryptocurrency, great, it's just too volatile, right? So unless you understand it, do your research, but just be careful out there, right? There's a lot of hype right now, so you just got to be careful. That said, obviously Tesla, the big institutions are buying into this. But anyway, right, back on track. So
I set up a little Bitcoin mining thing on my old computer when it was becoming a thing.
Was this years ago?
And years ago.
Oh, yeah.
I set it up and set it going, and I tried playing a game in the background, but the actual process of mining the Bitcoins was taking up so much processing power on my old shitty PC.
Think about the energy bills as well.
Yeah, right? I couldn't do it.
But of course, in hindsight, it was a good investment because of how much more valuable. I know someone who at one point had 200 Bitcoins that they mined themselves, right? 200 Bitcoin, and this was back in 2013. The Entertainment Exchange game...
That's when you needed diamond hands.
That's when you needed, right? But basically the games retailer, Entertainment Exchange, they sell used phones, used games, excuse me, and basically he spent the money on like used games. In hindsight, that old copy of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas has cost tens of thousands of pounds.
Wow.
If it had just paid in pounds.
Yeah.
But then there's also stories about people buying, like, I've got a friend of mine who works at a computer retailer, and he's got a story of a guy who bought a graphics card, right? It's a computer component.
Yeah.
And these things cost a few £100, right? He paid for it in Bitcoin a few years ago. And then after the crash in 2018 that I was talking about just earlier, he wanted a refund, he wanted to return it. And he was annoyed that the money that he got back was not equal to the money that he bought it for. But that's because you paid in Bitcoin. The value has changed, right? Yep. So that's why I'm saying I believe in cryptocurrency. It is the future. I think it's very good, very transparent, all that. But it's very volatile, it's very new, you just got to be careful, right? So like I say...
And you've also got the guy who had a laptop full of Bitcoins that he accidentally threw away or something.
Oh, God, yeah.
And he keeps petitioning his local authority to go to the landfill and try and find it.
Yeah, that's not...
millions
That's not going to happen.
Pounds worth of Bitcoin.
It's not going to happen. There's someone who's... some criminal, I don't know what he was doing, but the law enforcers, they want to gain access to his laptop, I heard. This is a different story in America, I think. And he won't give up the password. He just won't do it.
Yeah.
He will not give up the password.
I've heard about...
Yeah.
Not this particular one, but stories of people just refusing to share login details to like.
And it's
laptops,
their right to
phones.
do so. It's personal credentials. You know, I mean, the law's the law, but I don't know. Anyway, so I lost all this money, but I still held the cryptocurrency in my account. Now, this was done 3 years ago. You know, lots happened since then. And clearly I didn't know what I was doing because I didn't realise until last Friday night, after a bottle of wine, right, what the situation was with my, holdings. So essentially, with cryptocurrency, because it's digital, because it's not like a physical coin, right, you have what's called a wallet. A wallet is it's like a digital, it's a digital wallet, right, that uses to store the stuff. And I was buying cryptocurrency on 2 different websites because not every website offers every coin. There's like 6,000 cryptocurrencies, right? All different technologies, whatever. Now, the value of this particular coin that I held in both websites was the exact same value. So I thought, oh, well, I'm looking at this 2 weeks ago and I'm thinking, oh, okay, so clearly it's just mirroring the value. That's just what the wallet's worth. I only actually have one lot of that. Last Friday, a bottle of wine, right? I was on a video call to some mates, and I was just thinking to myself, you know what? I wonder, right? Because I, 2 weeks ago, bought and sold... I moved some cryptocurrency around, right?
Right.
On account A. But on account B, it still showed the original coin that I held. And I'm thinking, why is that not updated? Surely that should update, right? And then I'm thinking, are these independent? What's going on? So I thought, well, there's only one way to find out, and that's to withdraw the money. Now, on this second website, I hadn't verified it, 3 years ago. To verify it, you've got to take a photo of yourself holding your driving license just to show that you're a real person and, the address and all that kind of stuff, right? Very, very, feels dodgy at the time, but it's very standard stuff. A lot of banks do it.
Yeah, it's come more into prominence to take a picture like that.
So essentially what I did, right, after the bottle of wine, and my friends on Discord, they're watching my webcam, and they're just like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, and... it must have been so weird from their perspective because I sent the verification details to increase the withdrawal limit from £100 to 100 Bitcoin. Like 100 Bitcoin. I wish I had 100 Bitcoin, but I mean, one Bitcoin's worth like 40 grand at the moment. So
bloody hell,
times, it's mental.
I saw a post on Edge like old milk, and it was like a competition rewards board. It's like first place $25,000, second place $10,000, third place $5,000, fourth to seventh place 25 bitcoins.
Oh my god, what? Wait, when was that? When was that posted?
Recently. But the competition would have been years ago.
Oh my god.
When Bitcoin
Bitcoin was worth like not much. Like that's crazy.
I was like, geez, imagine you
would have
wanted to get 4th to 7th and get the Bitcoins and just hold on to those.
Yeah, but let's be realistic. Most people wouldn't have held. Some people did, and they're millionaires, but most people didn't hold because it's a new thing. They want to spend it, whatever, right? Anyway, so I thought, right, I've now sent all these details, increased the limit, press the withdraw button, all right? Within 5 minutes, I checked my bank account, and it's quite a lot bigger than it was the day before. So I'm like, oh shit, like what the fuck? And then I go back and I check my first crypto exchange account, and the value in that account is the exact same. So I'm thinking, shit, this is legitimate, okay, but I've actually got more than I thought I had. I thought I'd broken even, okay? I lost a lot of money back in 2018, and I thought today I've broken even, but I've actually made a small profit.
Wow.
So I then withdrew the money from the main account, and, well, it took a bit longer because it's a weekend and all that stuff, and they're based in America, but that came through as well. So it's legitimate.
You made a tidy profit there.
Yeah, I did. I mean, considering it's taken 3 years...
Yeah.
In retrospect, the profit's quite minimal. If I'd have just been a bit more smarter with my investment and actually understood what I was doing, then I could have made a smarter decision and I could have made more money. But genuinely, I don't give a shit. I thought I'd lost money. In my head, I'd written it off. I felt like a dickhead. I felt stupid. And miraculously, it came back. And as soon as it came back, I'm not greedy. Yeah, crypto is the future. 10 years, it might be worth a lot more. I don't care. I'm taking it out.
Yeah,
and whatever I do in the future now, I'm going to actually think about what I'm doing and not get swayed by hype, because there's a lot of hype right now, so you just got to be careful.
The problem is, you say that now, but in 2 or 3 years you'll be like, man, imagine if I held onto that currency and how much I'd have by now.
Yeah, but you can't think that way, because it can go either way. Yeah, and if you don't understand something...
This is like exit strategies as well. Like you need
genuinely,
to set a
when
point.
Do you stop?
Yeah.
Which is why I want to talk about... So obviously we spoke about GameStop stock last week. So... CEOs of Reddit and Robinhood, right? I'm taking this from The Verge. CEOs of Reddit and Robinhood, and Roaring Kitty. Okay, Roaring Kitty is the online alias of this guy who spearheaded the whole GameStop movement. Okay, he started back last year. Slated to testify in GameStop hearings. So here's what's interesting, right? There is a YouTube streamer. Okay, he's known as what's his Reddit name? Like Deep Effing Value. Okay, yeah, that's his Reddit name, right?
I know who you mean.
Yeah, he's the main guy behind the GameStop stuff, right? He never said to anyone, invest. He just said, this is what I'm doing, this is what I think will happen. He didn't think it would happen to the scale it did, right? He at one point, his portfolio was worth in the tens, perhaps hundreds of millions, but he did not sell. If he sold, then that would have been a red flag to the authorities, like, this is dodgy. But he didn't. And you know what's interesting? The whole GameStop thing, right, happened... It started about 2 to 3 weeks ago. He's not posted a single update in 3 weeks. Since the whole hype kicked off, he's done nothing.
Chipped off.
No.
Money now.
There's lawsuits. So Congress are actually in, having hearings with him, right? Yeah. Now, I heard people on YouTube speculate the problem with American politics, and probably politics across the board, right? So you saw it in the Facebook and Twitter hearings of, data privacy, that kind of thing, right? A lot of these people are from the old world. They're a lot older. I'm not discrediting their position and why they are in Congress, but they don't quite understand. They're not in this world, okay? This is the new world, right? So I'm worried that the Redditors who genuinely like GameStop stock are going to get charged for, manipulation of the stock market, which is completely, that's not right.
Yeah, but it's such a strange thing to say we're manipulating the stock market.
There's a movement, but it's not orchestrated. We're just individual.
Yeah.
It's memes, man.
But also, the argument is this is what people have been doing for decades with hedge funds since it got...
Of course. Oh, it's all right for you, but it's not okay for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And that's kind of what everyone feels like. And this is hopefully where that goes is saying, right, stopping the ability for people to trade because of whatever reason, other than a legitimate reason like the company itself holds the stocks, shouldn't be allowed. It shouldn't be like, you can't buy any more stocks, you have to sell. But these guys are still all right. Should always be an equal playing field.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that whole thing with blocking buy orders, apparently that's a liquidity issue, because when you buy a stock, you don't buy a stock. You're basically putting in a request, and then the company has a clearinghouse which buys the stock for you 2 days later, right?
Right.
If you're a day trader, I can't imagine that. That's just a massive ball ache, man. I couldn't be asked that shit. If I was like Robinhood or Trading 212 or, any of these companies.
Yeah.
But that's just the mental thing. And you know what? Most people, like my mum, would never go into this shit. She'd be like, it's alien, it's weird, doesn't seem legit. You're making free money. What the fuck, right? My grandpa, I never knew the guy. He died when I was 2 years old, but he was into stocks. He traded stocks back when they were probably printed onto ticker paper. That's why they call them ticker symbols, because it's ticker paper it was printed on, right? So I've no idea. I'd love to know what his thoughts on all this would be. I'd love to know. To be fair, I'd love to just know the guy,
Yeah,
but that's a different discussion.
Saying that as well, on a different subject, in UK law, the government's looking at banning scalpers and making it an illegal practice.
For a second, I thought you said banning scousers. It's like, yeah, right on. The
independent state of Merseyside. They'd rob the rest of us dry.
Oh, can you imagine that? Just like, have you played? You played Borderlands?
I have.
There's a Borderlands film coming out, right? Now, I can't remember what it was, but isn't there a city in Borderlands where it's like just like a load of junk and it's like all built? Am I thinking of Nuketown? Not Nuketown. Megaton.
Probably.
From Fallout. I can't remember. I'm imagining Merseyside as just a big mound of trash that's been built up and stolen over the years. People's tyres, car doors, that shit, right? Exhaust pipes. I don't know why it's all car related. Just basically coining in on the antiques that will soon be antiques after Tesla takes over, right?
Oh, yeah. For sure. Tesla's doing a good job, man. Shout out to Elon Musk.
It's interesting because no one else could do what he's doing. I mean, he's the Howard Hughes of our time. Have you seen The Aviator?
No, it's been on my to-watch list
good
for
film,
a long time.
Very good film.
I've never got around to it.
Look, it's a long film, and, there are details that you might miss on the first watch, but, Leo DiCaprio, can't go wrong, brilliant film, right? And it's about this guy who, he's just fucking mental. Like, he's loaded, okay? He made money on, was it oil futures or was it just oil in general? I can't remember, but, was it making drill bits? I think it was drill bits, So
I couldn't tell you.
He made a shitload of money in the mid-century, 40s, 50s. Drill bits. This was at the turn of it might not be the 40s and 50s, because he was a massive aviation enthusiast, right?
Right.
But then he was also a filmmaker. That's why I think you should, you'd find it interesting.
Okay.
And they spent so much money filming these biplanes, having this dogfight, only to decide there's no relativity here. There's no clouds. You don't know how fast these planes are going. Refilm the whole fucking thing. And back then, they had to get the planes up. They can't just CGI that shit.
Yeah, you had to have the physical thing to film it.
He was a visionary, and he did different things. And I feel he's been compared a lot with Elon Musk of today, because, Elon's not about... I mean, yeah, he's
rich. He's filthy rich.
Yeah, he's filthy rich, but it's not cash rich. All his money is in his companies, and he reinvests, okay? And to be fair, who gives a fuck if you're the richest person? That's that's fucking boring. You want to make meaningful change in the world, right?
This is the problem.
And also privatize the planet, because that's fucking... No, that's where the big money is.
No, this is where the discussion comes down. It's you've got people like Elon Musk who reinvests and is pushing humanity into the next bounds of our existence.
Just because it might be be cool.
And then you've got people who just hold on to the wealth and put it into offshore accounts.
Diamond hands. That's the issue, right? The economy. It's not poor people spending.
It's
right?
rich people hoarding.
Rich people saving, yeah? Fucking alcohol, cigarettes, right? Highly taxable goods. I'm just going to quote Kevin Bridges on this, right? A comedian. They're spending all their dole money on alcohol and cigarette. These people are reinvesting in the country. Highly taxable, yeah? Rich people saving. The fuck are the Cayman Islands invade the Cayman Islands? Oh man, Kevin Bridges. I don't know what he's doing now, but what a guy, man. Good comedian. Good Scottish comedian. Glasgow. Glasgow guy.
You know what? I would love to get up to Edinburgh for the Edinburgh Fringe.
Edinburgh Fringe, what's that? Oh, comedy festival.
Big comedy festival. Obviously, it's not gone on this year.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think it happened last year either. I think it got cancelled.
When does it normally happen? Does it normally happen quite early in the year?
I believe so. I couldn't tell you the exact date. I just see the post saying, "Oh, it's the Edinburgh Fringe." I was like, I really want to go to this.
I've never heard of that. That sounds sick. I've been to the Edinburgh Tattoo. Now, the Tattoo, I went, what was it, like 12 years ago? 13 years ago. That's cool, right? Military tattoo, bagpipes, kilts, all that shit, right? Not funny, though. Entertaining, but not funny, right? So what you're pitching to me is the funny, the more comical alternative to
it's basically
Scottish heritage.
It's a lot of small and medium comedians, maybe a few big ones, all go down to Edinburgh for a week of comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you remember Adam, but he has his own comedy company.
No, does he actually?
And he sends his acts up to Scotland.
We need to get him. We need to see what he's doing. I'd like to point out at this point, so we would love to have guests on the podcast, okay? We're going to wait until after episode 10, right? We want to establish our podcast first. But he said, like, I'd love to have him on and see what he's doing. That's pretty cool.
I know 2 of the comedians who live in Manchester, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I could ask one of them to come on one week.
Yeah.
They are funny guys. They did my TV programme in uni.
Oh,
they hosted it.
Yeah. What was that? A Spike TV was that? Yeah. Nice.
Best £200 I ever spent.
You spent money on that?
I had to pay them, man.
Shit.
I got a mate's rate, which was kind of Adam, but I still had to pay for the time. They were on set for 2 straight days.
Tell you what I wouldn't pay for, right? Beans on Weetabix.
Oh, God.
I was waiting for a segue opportunity. Right, so, what was it now? Weetabix, they posted a tweet, okay, and it was essentially an alternative to the traditional breakfast. You know, so what began with a simple tweet.
To be clear, it's saying it has to be your way.
Okay.
So, have you had your Weetabix is the hashtag, and it's about how you can make the Weetabix. And then the hashtag next to it is it has to be Heinz.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they've played those hashtags off each other very, very well.
So, I'm just going to be honest, man, like, the app's broken. I can't actually see the tweet. I'm going to have to pick up your laptop.
Oh, no.
So we saved the, okay, yeah, that just ruined it. I had the tweets on my phone, but the app's broken. Can't view them. Anyway, I've got the laptop here, right? And I'm talking Domino's, I'm talking Sainsbury's, I'm talking YouTube, man. YouTube commenting to the tweet. They replied to the tweet with, patiently waiting for this mukbang content. But if you know what mukbang is this, it's not a fetish, right? It's just a weird thing where people enjoy watching people eat. That's all it is, right? Tinder UK, trust me, this is not a match, right? Tesco, illegal combination in the bagging area, right? And then Weetabix replied to that with, watch out, there's going to be heaps of Weetabix and beans coming through your checkout soon. It's a bit dry.
I think my favourite one is Domino's Pizza saying US. Pineapple on pizza is a massively controversial topic. And under it, because Weetabix, hold my spoon.
But then you've even got Xbox UK, rare achievement unlocked, right? Boohoo, this made us literally boohoo, and then like a crying face emoji. Oh man, it's one of those trends, right? And you wonder if it's orchestrated. Genuinely, you wonder if it's orchestrated.
My personal favourite has to be one from Marmite, spreading Marmite onto the Weetabix.
We'll just cut this bit out. Sorry.
Just keep talking.
No. Look, okay, let's go.
We just broke the laptop.
This is gonna fuck with the timer, right? So
we broke the laptop, and now Marcus is trying to fix it. I don't know what he did, but he just broke my laptop.
Right,
brand new. This is going to cost you, sir. Right, this is going to cost you.
I love tech, okay, but
you've been saying sometimes all that money from cryptocurrency. I want that in my account now.
Well, good luck, because it's not in my account. I moved it into another investment. Didn't mess about, mate. So this is the problem, right? Technology. We're quite young. We should be literally. You can't even close the fucking thing, right? So what I want to say at this point technology, great, okay, but isn't always the best thing, okay? As we see from a lawyer? And he joined a Zoom call meeting.
Yeah.
That
was the highlight of my week.
Are you going to play a clip? Let's play a clip.
Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to take
we're trying to. Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can see that.
So essentially, he looks like a cat on the video, right? Fucking brilliant. You love to see it. I don't even know how he achieved such a thing. Because, I mean, I'm not being funny. That's a good looking filter. It looks quite realistic. You know, how can someone, how can someone get that wrong? You know, it's just crazy.
I love the fact that he's like, I'm not a cat. We can go forward with the court proceeding.
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, you know what? I don't give a shit that I'm a cat. Let's just get this job underway.
Actually, speaking of court proceedings, I want to circle back to a previous point. What's this about UK government banning scalping? What's going on with that?
Well, I'm sure everyone has been having problems getting hold of the next gen consoles, which is weird because really they should be called current gen if they've come out.
Yeah.
But basically, Xbox Series X, PS5, people go out and buy them en masse and then resell them for a profit. Which, in the past, was a perfectly normal thing to do. But I think with the rise of the internet and people ordering online, just ordering like 20, 30 Xbox consoles and then selling them back to the to resellers for profit is really ruffled some feathers.
Oh, is that what scalping is?
Yeah. Like
right.
CX, for example, which is like a big reseller in the UK.
Mm-hmm. Entertainment Exchange, mentioned them earlier.
Yeah. They have been offering way more money than the retail price for these devices. So I think you pay $450.
You're paying over retail.
Yeah,
at this point.
Over retail.
Right now,
they sell an Xbox Series X for £650.
Fuck me. Right, so this happens in all industries, right? Or at least most. Okay, so I don't know if you know, right? The luxury watch market. If it's a Rolex, but in particular, right? Rolex limit how many watches they produce, okay? Which means that there's a massive waiting list. I'm talking 2-5 years, right?
Wow.
Okay, 2 to 5 years, easy, right? For a brand new piece, 2021, whatever, right? Which means if you want something, and if you're loaded, right? You don't give a fuck. You just want to get that fucking motherfucker right now. The problem is people are paying way over retail. For example, right, I like the Rolex Submariner in green. I remember seeing that watch, 4 years ago, £6,000 that used to cost, right?
Really?
That's gonna cost no. That's cheap.
I know.
You're paying like £18,000-20,000 for that. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's one of my favourite watches.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It is. I can't believe it was $6,000 when I look at the price now.
Imagine if you, I mean, you can say that about anything, right? Imagine if you'd have, been able to afford that all that time ago.
Oh, God.
I mean, that's an investment.
It is.
Okay.
It really is.
It's just mental. Now, I actually believe when you were on about scalping, I thought you meant the art of selling a stock high and then when it dips, buying it a bit lower and then selling it a bit higher. Okay. So in the stock world, that's what scalping means. Okay. Oh. So if you buy stock at 6 and then you sell it at 10 and then it dips back down to 8 and you buy back in.
I mean, it's not really any different here.
Well, I suppose not, because basically what you're doing is you're buying a commodity.
Yeah.
And you're selling it more than what it's worth, right? But something is worth whatever someone is willing to pay. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yep. Supply and demand.
So supply and demand, whether it's an Xbox or whether it's the actor Paul Newman's original Daytona, which is the most expensive watch to be sold on auction. And that fucker's like 50 years old, man, and it's shit. You know, and I'm talking multi-million pound, like, you know, just because there's a story behind it, you know?
Yeah. That adds value, though. Like, having a solid background story to a piece adds value.
Whatever it is,
like,
you know?
For example, you could go and buy a rifle today in a different country for a couple $100, if we're thinking America, which is all fine, but that's all it is. It's just a gun. But if you have the original Colt 1911 designed by Colt himself that he would shoot on the range to see how it feels, that thing's going to go way up in price.
Because there's history, there's a story there. That's what set the whole thing off, you know?
Yeah.
I love that. I love that idea. But I mean, like, anything could become that. God willing, this podcast does extremely well, right? And this microphone be worth something. I doubt it.
No,
it's not.
I reckon something I can put a value on, which is the old wine box that I'm using as a stool.
No, that's good. That's good, because that wine box, right? So you got that from your bar, okay?
Yeah. We had some fine wines. They come in boxes.
Yeah,
and
you
I'd
can't
bring the
easily
boxes
get
home.
that shit. Like, that's not something you can get. Like, me as a retail alcohol buyer, right? I can't just acquire something like that.
Yeah,
that's
your
wholesale.
Your booze comes in cardboard boxes.
Yeah, it does. Yours comes in wooden boxes that also become stools in time.
And not only that, but in work there is a high demand to get these boxes. It's not just like we just chuck them out. If they're in good condition, we'll save them for the staff. Because everyone wants to try and take these boxes
What
home.
do the staff typically want to use them for? Because, I mean, like...
Some people use them for storage.
Fair.
Some people might actually use it as the wine holder.
Okay,
It
that's
makes
nice.
sense.
Bit of straw in the bottom, you know. I mean, it's
Not even that.
It comes with the cut wood to
Yeah,
hold the wine, like...
There's like guide rails that you put some wooden templates in, I guess.
Yeah.
And that will hold the wine bottles in place instead of having any straw or anything.
That's nice.
So
That's nice.
So 6 bottles. I think if it was a cardboard box, you could probably fit a couple more inside. But
Love that. That's nice.
the way they space it out, it is a fine wine.
Yeah.
They make it quite fancy.
And being a fine wine, like, often it's from somewhere like France, maybe Italy, and the box will have a meticulously designed logo on the front.
Oh god, yeah.
You know, etched into the wood. Fucking beautiful. I can't see it because...
This one's South American.
Oh, nice.
I think
Okay.
it's Katana.
Katana.
Yeah, they do
Katana.
some. Yeah, they do some really nice wine.
You know what pisses me off, right? So Halo 3, right? I earned the Katana armor permutation on
Right.
that shit, right? And then fucking 343 took over, updated it, and there's a massive bug, right? This is extremely... You probably no idea what I'm talking about in the audience, right? But this is an extremely niche fucking thing. I earned that shit. I got the achievements, right? And I got the Katana taken away from me.
Oh,
Yeah. Like, my character in Halo 3 multiplayer, I don't care if no one plays it anymore, right? Had a fucking sword on the back of it. That's fucking sick.
everyone wanted the sword.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted the
And
sword.
I had it in the palm of my hands.
By the power of Grayskull.
By the power of the Xbox controller. But, you know, that's just... I mean, that was a big fucking scandal back in the day.
I feel like Halo's
Pissed
one of
me
those
off.
series that have been falling quite a lot lately.
Oh, it pains me, man, because we used to play that game a lot. And it's like with Pirates of the Caribbean. For some reason, I've been watching a lot of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies like the last week or so, right? The original trilogy is decent, but then, as is the way with everything, it just gets a bit shit. It's like Halo, the first trilogy, amazing. I would have loved it to... I mean,
Even like
keep Halo,
Bungie's-
keep Halo Reach, but I would have loved Halo 1, 2, 3, ODST Reach. That's it.
Yeah.
Chief ends the story, floating through space, because that shit takes fucking millennia, millions of years before you get discovered, right?
Yeah.
The Voyager space probes, how long are those bastards going to get? You know, it's going to take a long time for those things to get found. If they ever do, you know, there's a massive story. You could pick that up in 20 years' time with a game series.
Yeah.
And do it properly rather than whatever the hell's happening. This is very niche, by the way. I'm sorry if you're not interested in the audience.
Quite literally, Bungie's Halo was OG.
It's a swan song.
Yeah. And 343 took over. Halo 4 was alright.
Look, there was a lot of people from Bungie in 343.
Yeah.
You got to understand, right? Like,
But Halo 5 was for me, a disappointment.
Look, cash grab. It becomes a cash grab. And it's fucking annoying. Like, it's a fucking good series. And I've got mates who, I mean, they had PS3s and shit when they were younger, right? They never experienced, like, what Halo could be. And I really wish they could, but I would never want them to experience it now.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, Halo Infinite could be something good. They recently delayed the release of that. And, like, that's a good thing.
I hope.
I hope it's time well spent, because you know what happened with Cyberpunk? It was not time well spent in the slightest.
I mean, they delayed Cyberpunk a few times as well, but eventually the backers pushed them to release.
Oh, shit, yeah.
And I've got that game as a future investment, where I've got the game ready for the Xbox Series X when I can get my hand on one. Because then it's on the next gen console, it's going to have the power to run the game at a decent frame rate, and there'll be a few updates out by then, which will improve the overall game performance.
Mm-hmm. I've got to say, considering the fucking night you had last night, you're doing pretty well, man. I've got to say, how are you feeling now?
I am hurting in my head more than anything.
So what did you like? Right, so you had 4 ciders, 8.2% each. All right, 500ml bottles plus a load of money. You came into I was just chilling last night, listening to music. Like, there's this girl who does like really sick piano covers of like EDM songs, right? It's really beautiful. I'm just chilling, having a great time. You came in twice to let me know that that it was 8%. I'd
also like to say, at the end of the night, I knocked a glass off the chair I was sat on, and I was so drunk, I just left it.
Oh, that's the fucking thing, right? So you know the problem with that, right? I'm guessing there was whiskey in that glass.
Only a bit, yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, because I can see the mark on the floor. So because whiskey, when it dries, is an inherently sticky thing, right?
Oh, no.
Like little tiny bastard shards of glass, right? I can't fucking mop that up. Like, you know, I've got to go in there with my fingers, and I swear to God, my thumb, I can feel it. There's something in there, right?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's gonna heal over. I'm gonna have that for years.
I was so drunk. I remember knocking it over and looking at it going, if I try and clean this up now, I am going to hurt myself.
Good.
So I'm going to leave you a message. I'm going to go to bed.
I'm going to read the message. I'm going to read what this message says, because it's just not cohesive, right? So the message, right? And I quote, actually, hang on, I can't find it. Did you delete it?
God, no.
Where is it? Oh, there you go. Smashed GL capital SS. So I know what happened there straight away, right? You obviously you hit the caps lock rather than the A enter. I do that all the time, right? Fair enough, right? Smashed.
It's pretty cohesive.
To be fair,
that's all I sent. It's just smashed this. No, went to bed.
So you're having a fucking stroke. To be fair, you did pretty well to like type that. That was a 4 in the morning. Excuse me, 4 in the morning, man.
Oh man.
4 in the bastard morning.
Yeah, I just stumbled into bed and passed the fuck out.
Isn't that what's great about having a flat though? Like it's one floor, dead easy.
You don't have to try and walk up the stairs.
Mate, well good. You know?
Even here, we're in a ground floor flat as well. So if we go on a night out and get pissed, we don't have to come back and worry about getting up to the right floor.
This is the reason why like being in lockdown right now, right? A lot of the rest of the world is moving on, getting on with it, which is really fucking annoying. But with regards to the UK, we're in a good location right now. I'm not going to do what I did last time and divulge our exact location.
Yeah.
But, right?
I had to bleep
that
out
was funny.
Part of the conversation because I tried to be vague with where we live. It's going out to a worldwide audience.
Yeah, of course. Like it just makes sense, right? You don't want to shit where you eat, whatever the fuck.
At most, I would say, we live in Manchester. We're Mancunians.
Yeah, so that gives you a bit of context, right? And then bit by bit, I kept on narrowing down. At one point, I almost gave away the postcode.
You nearly did.
You
literally mentioned an adjacent street to where we live, where he had to go and collect his Deliveroo order.
And that's what you bleeped out. Yeah, but that was bullshit though, because I don't know what the fuck's going on with Deliveroo, okay? But it keeps defaulting to that, like, my location's on my phone. And I put in the address. Why are you going to that street? And nearly did it again.
Man, you know what? I want you to order the Deliveroo tonight, just to show me that.
Yeah.
Because I do not have that problem. I just put The details are in there.
Oh
I
man,
just
it's a fucking.
order
I
and
feel
go.
bad for the guy. I mean, the guy was so nice.
Yeah.
Like, he came and he was like, "Oh yeah, man, yeah, I came to this street. Like, what happened?" He's like, "Oh yeah, don't worry about it. It's okay. You know, it's all good. It's all
No.
good, man."
It's happened to me before. I accidentally, when I moved from my first flat to my second flat, the first night in, I ordered some Deliveroo.
Well, yeah. Well, you just didn't update your address, did you?
I forgot to update the address.
Yeah, that's fine. I
The
don't know
guy-
anyone at that fucking place.
the
I don't even
guy-
know where that address is.
The guy was complaining for ages that he
Madness.
couldn't deliver it to me. I'm like, can you just please bring it to me? Look,
The guy's
you've
trying.
he wasn't. He was like, you need to change your address on the app and this and that, and it wouldn't let me update while it had
Well,
the
to be
delivery.
fair, he's gonna have his own thing. Like, for example,
And
right? If he
yeah,
but if he delivers it late, fuck what you and me think, right? It's if Deliveroo can deem it to be late by their automatic algorithm, right? He's probably gonna get fucked over. I don't know how, right? Because what happened the other week, right?
Let me finish before you continue.
No,
because
fuck
I've got
you,
more to
fuck
my
you.
story.
Yeah, I've got more to mine as well. All right, so this is a battle of words, my friend. Anyway, all right. So essentially, he got a mark against his thing saying it was late, but
Really?
in my mind, it wasn't. It was fine. Yeah, because the address was wrong. Fair enough, but the algorithm doesn't.
This is what I'm getting at though, because the guy was like, "It's outside of my area. It's not going to register that it's delivered because you're all the way over there."
Oh, when was it? Was this a few years ago?
No, this was last year.
Shit. Well, maybe.
He
maybe,
did deliver it.
They
And
only- they only
I
do
gave him a nice tip, because I was like, "You've gone out of your way. I appreciate it. You weren't that understanding. You're a bit of a dick about it, but
Yeah, but to be fair, the guy's
Yeah,
fucking
I could've-
cold, cycling.
no, he was in a car. It says the cycling. They're always in a car.
Oh, he's a dickhead. Yeah.
It's weird though. 'Cause it's like Deliveroo has the option to say what mode of transport you're using to deliver.
They always use the bike. They always use. They did it for me as well.
Yeah, everyone always selects a bike. I think it's because I'm guessing they get more time to make the delivery. But they always rock up in a car.
Fucking bullshit.
Right. And I do see Deliveroo cyclists. Don't get me wrong. It's not like the
Yeah,
right.
no. It's good they're in a car. The food stays warmer. A heated seat. If you're privileged, great. Right, love it. But respect for the ones who use a bike, because fuck that. I can't imagine me doing that shit. I mean, like, cars carving you up and shit. The fucking guy you deliver it to is pissed off for, oh, it's late weather. It's like, fuck you, man. I've been through the fucking rain for you.
Cycling in the city is dangerous.
Fuck that.
I saw a video recently.
I'm swearing a lot, by the way. Sorry, but I'm going to keep doing it.
It's fine. I saw a video recently from, I assume it was London. A woman had ordered a Deliveroo and wanted the guy to come upstairs. And this is during the pandemic. Excuse me.
Fucking hell, excuse you.
That's a 1 out of 10 burp there.
That's last night.
I could not hold that one. Yeah, and she's
10 out of 10 to
refusing to come down to
You'd love to
him
see
to
it.
collect the food.
Mm-hmm.
And he's obviously refusing to go inside because it's COVID-19.
Yeah.
And it
Oh, they've got the sequel coming out. They've got the sequel. COVID-20.
and it turns into him just throwing the food up to her
Oh, wow. How many floors up was
in
she?
anger as well, because she was being really, in my opinion, she was being really disrespectful to this guy.
Well, yeah, people are impatient when they're hungry.
Do you want to know why?
You're not yourself when you're hungry, man.
Yeah. Do you want to know why she didn't want to go down to get the food?
Why not?
Because it's cold outside.
Oh, fuck that bitch. This fucker, he's been cycling across the city. Like, that's just awful.
Yeah.
Oh, what? No, come
Like,
on,
you
man.
don't deserve that food. I hope there is.
They're getting
And-
paid next to nothing relative to the work they're doing.
I hope there is an option for them inside the app to say owner refused to come to the door to collect the food.
I doubt it, man, because these apps, like, they're not
Like,
leave it thinking that way. Like, they're not that, like, human with it, you
Yeah.
know? Like, let's be real, like, things happen out of the realms of what you deem to be, like, normal, Oh, fucking woman's a bitch. She won't come down. There was a cat, stole the food, whatever the fuck. Like, like, you can't account for that.
The problem in America of fucking, porch pirates? Like, your
Yeah.
delivery company will deliver your parcel and leave it on the porch.
That's
If you're in or not, it doesn't matter.
Mm.
And people just walk up, go, hey, look, a parcel, and just grab it and go.
That's our own fault being a shit country. I mean, like, we don't do that in this country,
No,
right?
we get a little slip in the letterbox say, hey, we came with your package. and I saw you in the window, but I don't want to talk to you, so I'm just going to leave this slip and go back into
Yeah,
my
man,
van.
I'll do that. To be fair, right, so we live in a flat, and that means we have a shared, like, mail room, right? So our packages get left in there sometimes, right? And
Most of the time.
in fairness, that's equivalent to a porch. Like,
We did get an email
multiple
saying,
people can go in there and steal our shit.
Yeah.
They haven't done so far, but I mean,
we have
it
got
has
emails
happened.
to like be careful about
Yeah,
people
yeah.
kind of shouldering in when
It's
you
terrible.
come in and not letting.
That's one thing as well. So I went to the bins out the other day. Excuse me, and there was homeless people like sleeping in the bin store. It's fob entry only, right?
Yeah.
And they were having a row at the time. I had my earphones in. I was like, not getting involved. You do you. I'm not going to say anything. It's cold outside. Fair enough. Just don't, like, you know, I hope you're not aggressive. They were fine, right? They were okay.
They definitely got kicked out though.
Oh, yeah, because like 3 hours later, they weren't there anymore. Yeah, I know. But
Yeah,
it's
so
like...
I took the recycling out.
Yeah, but that's not the response. It's annoying because clearly it's a backwards approach. The attitude shouldn't be move them on. It should be, why are they in that situation in the first place? What can be done to fix that? And fair fucking play. You know, it's at least there's no wind in that gaff. I don't care if there's bins there and rats and shit. You know, I mean, if that's the extent, everyone's got their own story. All right, if you're...
You want to know my initial thought process to this?
Yeah, go.
It was below freezing. They had access to shelters. And then the more I thought about it, the more I'm on your thing with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wait, it shouldn't be, hey, it's below freezing, you can go to a shelter. It should be, what are you doing in here? Like,
Yeah,
why
why
are you here?
Why has life...
And I feel like there's a massive drug problem in the city, which is what fuels.
Oh, mate, drug capital of Europe, mate. I don't care if we're in the EU or not. Like, you know, we're still in Europe, and we are the drug capital.
Yeah,
You know,
that's a depressing fact to learn.
mental to think. Like, I've done well to avoid that world, but I mean, I can only like gander as to how easy it would be to slip into that life. You know,
It's scary. Like, I know people who take certain amenities each day. And you know what? That's their choice, and I wouldn't say anything about it. But when that choice has a wider effect on your life, it's not just something to, in a bad way, something to do when you're
but
bored.
it must be so worse. Like, so much worse now. Because think about it. Fuck all going on. You can't go anywhere. You can't get like substance from anything. So what do you do? I mean, we're literally just sat here waiting for lockdown to end, right?
Pretty much.
So how easy is it to just slip into that? That's terrible.
It must be really easy. I feel,
100%. Like, and it's really bad because...
but
like,
I'm not an angel or anything. Like, I've partook in certain amenities myself.
Well, I mean, yeah, you took some paracetamol this morning because the fucking hangover is so shit. You know?
But I find it's not something you actively search to do. It's when you have others around you that also want to do it that you find yourself doing these things.
Yeah.
And
that's
some
problem.
people go off the rocker with it. I think a great example is the original Train Spotting.
Oh, yeah.
When
I don't think I've seen that, you know.
when Mark gives Tommy some drugs. And he was clean before this point, and once he started having the drugs, he ended up dying. He overdosed on it. He
Yeah.
got too addicted.
Yeah.
And it's a great film that looks into drug addiction and its effects.
But it's so good that, like, it's being looked into. I mean, more emphasis to be put on it, but it's such a horrible thing.
It is one of my...
God, shit, this fucking podcast has taken a really down turn. But it's reality, and you've got to talk about it, you know? And the whole point of this podcast is to talk about our week. But we're doing fuck all. Like, there's nothing going on in our week, so we've got to talk about,
what's going on everywhere else.
what's real. Oh, I'll tell you what is cool. This cigar, so it's not a real cigar, you can't see it at home, but it's a chocolate cigar, and I tell you what, right, it's the size of a Cuban cigar, okay, made out of chocolate, dark chocolate, and this thing's got some weight to it, man. It's heavy. It's a quality. I didn't want to start eating it. I've started eating it today. I've had like half of it, right? But like, it's got some weight to it.
That
You know?
reminds me. I was telling you
Nice.
about how one of my mates and I went to a bar in town, and it had the option for like cigar and whiskey pairings.
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up buying one of the pairings each to try. It
Sounds
was
decent, that,
so
right?
expensive. The whiskey was worth it. I didn't like the cigar too much, and my mate ended up just keeping what I had left.
Oh, fair. Oh, what? So he's still got the remains of your cigar?
He's probably smoked it at home.
Oh, fair enough, yeah.
But the scotch was worth it. It was bloody expensive, but it was worth it.
How much was it?
I believe it was £140 for the pairing.
Fucking hell. What each?
No. For
Oh, okay.
well, yeah, like
What?
for the cigar and the whiskey pairing was £140, and we both bought one.
Like, I wouldn't have thought... I know whiskey can get to such a price. Especially in a bar where there's a massive upscale, right? But, I mean, like, the cigar? I've never tried it, man. I'd like to give it a go. You know, apparently it's not too unhealthy because you don't inhale, like, the shit.
Yeah,
You know?
you taste it more than you smoke it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, like, a one-off wouldn't be too bad.
I don't know if you've heard of it, but there's a store in town called Ashton's, and I'm pretty sure you've heard of it because I do go on about it.
Is it the second-hand...
No,
there's, like, pipes and whiskey and shit?
Yeah, not second hand.
Oh, it's in what's it called? Royal Exchange.
Yeah, in the Royal Exchange.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
And they sell a selection of cigars. They have a selection of spirits. None of it your bottom shelf stuff. This is all high-end niche crap.
Are they sponsoring us?
They are not.
They probably should. Also, I'm gonna put. So a bit ago, I opened a beer just for the, audio effect, but I haven't actually got around to drinking it yet. I'm gonna pour it now. Continue.
Yeah. My grandma's partner likes cigars, so every Christmas...
Fuck me, look at the head on that.
Jesus. That is
It's like...
That's 4 fingers of head,
To be fair, man.
if you know how to measure it.
Oh, I know how to measure it, man. I mean, in Europe, they actually like prefer head. Like, you get a Pilsner from Czech, right? The home of Pilsner. You're gonna get... Jesus Christ, look at the size of that.
I love a
Mad.
European style beer.
Oh, man, I
have
can't
to
wait
say.
to go back to Europe,
Same.
honestly. Can't wait for
Same.
it.
As soon as it's okay to travel, I will be booking a holiday.
Yeah, but it has to be okay to travel and to go in a pub.
And safe, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to go there and just sit around eating fucking cornflakes. Like,
Yeah.
I need to
I got
mash, man.
very annoyed this week at Boris Johnson kind of
Joris
skimping
Bohnson.
a question about holiday travel and
Okay.
booking holidays.
Mm-hmm.
And his response to the question was, you're going to have to wait till we lay out the roadmap. I'm
Right.
like, you could definitively just say no and say we might change things as the pandemic develops.
Mm.
But my advice right now would to just say no. Don't do it. Don't go on holiday. Don't travel around the UK. Stay safe. Stay in your own constituency.
Mm.
But he's so vague about everything.
You heard it here first, guys. Just say no.
Just say no.
I actually briefly forgot what it was that I was quoting then.
It's drugs, probably. If someone offers you drugs, just say no.
But then what was it? There was a Family Guy episode where it was quoting James Bond, and it's like, guys, if you hear two no's and a yes, that means a yes, and it's like it really doesn't.
No,
It really doesn't mean that, Oh shit. Yeah. So,
But
I don't really feel too confident about that. But I mean, what can you do? Oh, and shit, like, we're going on about the pandemic. Like, we told ourselves that we wouldn't do that.
I feel like we've done better this week than last week. 'Cause
I
this
hope
is like a final note of fuck Boris Johnson. I do not like him.
Joris Bohnson.
Joris. Oh dear.
Look, yeah, but you can get political. I mean, this morning I was watching a debate between Piers Morgan and the secretary for the university minister, or whatever the fuck she's called, right? And that's the whole thing. I'm so glad that we finished our degrees 2 to 3 years ago. Like,
Before any of this shit.
yeah, exactly. Because it must be fucking shit. Like, not on the angle of, oh, you're not getting the uni experience, you're not able to go pissed. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, yeah, that's a bit of shit, but I mean, fucking deal with it, right? Whatever. It's fine. The problem is the fucking money. Like,
Yeah.
they're being told to stay at home, but they've got to pay like the rent.
Yeah, it doesn't make
Madness.
sense. They shouldn't have gone back to uni in the first place.
I
don't know.
Me. Obviously, you can't. You have to decide in January what you're doing for the following September, right?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, what am I drinking here? Is that a Hazy Jane or is it Dead Pony Club? Brewdog Dead Pony. This is fucking nice, man.
Nice.
Anyway, it just tastes so smooth. I'm gonna get more of that. So, like, you can't.
And that is the mark for the hour.
That's 60. Yeah.
Finish your thoughts.
Yeah,
there.
but we can get 10 minutes, right? So, essentially, what I'm getting at is when we went to uni, okay, percentage-wise, right, how much of it was, oh, I'm at uni because I want to get a degree, or I'm at uni because I want to get, like, the nightlife and the experience and all that shit?
I think it was 30-70. Bearing in mind, I originally didn't want to go to uni, and I was kind of like, you should go to uni.
Oh, yeah, at one point I was the same. You know?
I think it was 30% uni, 70% getting pissed.
Yeah, 100%. But for me, at one point, it was a case of, nah, I don't want to go, too expensive, whatever, right? And my family never challenged me on that. They never said, no, you know, because only my sister had been to uni before me. And that was it, you know, fine, whatever, right? But I don't know, something just changed in me. I guess I decided, you know what, no, I'd like to go. And when I think back on it, like, it was a good... the value that it brought me was just the transition between, like, it gave me an opportunity to be independent, okay? Yeah. Because if not for uni and student loans and all that kind of stuff, I wouldn't have had the capital to afford my own... And I wouldn't have had the incentive to afford my own place. I wouldn't have moved out probably by now. You know, I'm 25, like, shit. I probably wouldn't have moved out by now if I hadn't have gone to uni at all. But then, who knows what you'd be doing?
Yeah.
You know, and I think there's a lot of value in going to uni. I do believe that universities are oversubscribed. I think they charge too much. And I think that people need to really look into why they're going, because there's a lot of opportunity outside of university. I do think too many people go. But that said, I also believe that the opportunity to go, if you so wish, should be there for anyone, you know? And
I have to agree with that.
And it's got to the point where, like, these fuckers, these students, I don't know how I call them fuckers, these people are paying through the nose, right, for courses that are online.
Yeah.
Typically, an online course is 60% cheaper than the actual thing, right?
Essentially, if you're passionate about something, even before COVID, you could find everything online. You didn't need that uni degree.
Now you don't get told what's correct and what's not correct information by just going on YouTube, but you do. It's a massive resource, man.
Oh god, yeah.
So
I'm not talking about YouTube. I'm talking about, like, you can get books online, Google Scholar. You can access loads.
Yeah, you can do. Yeah,
like, you're not required to be in that setting to learn anymore. Yeah. You can do a lot.
I believe
you still need to go for the degree, but you can do a lot without being there.
Yeah, of course. And
from that, I think we need to round out.
Okay, yeah. Fuck it. I mean, I've still got half a beer here. I mean, I don't know how long have we got. I mean, I think I can probably finish this, right?
Yeah. All right. It's been two guys talking, TGT, with me, Kris, and Marcus.
Thank you very much. This has been the first episode. Hope you enjoyed. We'll be back again next week for more ramblings. Not quite sure on the topic. We basically just think of the topics as we go throughout the week.
Yeah, a lot of it's fly-by-wire. We have the mood board as a guide, but we barely even use it, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I mean, I've just been... Beer is the main advent of what we kind of use to
Beer
carry.
is the fuel to carry these topics.
Just try to not get so hungover next time we do it. Although, to be fair, you've not been too bad. You've been alright. You've been quite good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Take it easy, guys. See you next week.